Awesome, man. You guys are out on the road right now. You've been, not too long ago, you guys started the tour for No Fixed Address. Talk to me about how it's been supporting this album specifically.
Still pretty early in the game. So far, so good, I gotta say. It's always interesting when you bring new material out and new kind of a stage show to show and whatnot to your fans. So it's the response has been really good so far, and we're just kind of settling into playing the new songs live. You kind of develop them in the studio, and we used to be in the game of playing them. We test them live before we would even go in the studio. And we don't do that much anymore with this crazy thing called internet these days. It's hard to keep a lid on things.
It is.
So it's been fun. It's been a good start.
Awesome. Obviously, this album was very well received. Most albums are, for the most part, from Nickelback. They're about 3 years apart each time. Tell me a little bit about what it was like writing and just putting No Fixed Address together as opposed to Here and Now or previous records. Was there any difference or anything as far as a different approach you took this time around?
We definitely had nothing deliberate necessarily for. It just kind of happened.
Okay.
Recording. Sorry, I just had somebody walking in the room here, distracted a little bit. As it always happens. The last few albums, we would kind of just hole up in a room, a chat studio, in Vancouver area, and just sit there for like 7 months and just wring the rag. Just like the creative rag of like at least 12-hour days, and every day, just 7 days a week, and we could do it the first time, and the second time was kind of tough, and everybody started, families involved, we have kids, and the next time here now, it's the same kind of deal, and it's just getting a struggle to a degree, and creatively, it can be exhausting, I feel. And this time, Chad had moved away, so we sold the studio, and it just kind of happened organically, like, what are we going to do? Like, how, we're not going to use that studio anymore, so Chad was spending time in LA, I'm in Vancouver, Mike's overseas in Hawaii, so we just started saying, hey, why don't we do, 5 to 10 days here, because it's easier for, my family. Daniel also is in Vancouver. Let's do it in Vancouver for a bit. Okay, let's go to LA for a bit. Let's go to Hawaii to see Mike. And geez, that's not really a tough decision to make either. Let's go to Hawaii and record. It's pretty great. But we also had we also had the recording gear out on our European tour about 2 years ago when we were doing a European run, and so we were kind of picking away at some stuff, and that was something we hadn't done in a while. We used to kind of write on the road,
right?
But not necessarily put things down and record. And these days, the difference between a demo and a recording is very, very little, if anything at all. Well, you use a lot of scratch tracks and ideas and whatnot that you originally put down. Sometimes it makes the final product. So that it just all of a sudden it just felt like we were just doing bits and pieces here and there, and it felt like we just didn't really. It was, it didn't have a home base for kind of a recording home base anymore, and it kind of felt good. You could get in, and then you can get out, and you can recharge the creative batteries, and you can look objectively at what you just finished. And that was a breath of fresh air. I actually really enjoyed the creative process this time. Yeah.
Nice. One thing I love about Nickelback's music is that you never know what you're going to get. You've also, obviously, you're going to have the songs that hit hard, the rock songs. You're going to have songs that have a little bit of a different style on there as well. This on this album, obviously, She Keeps Me Up. And one thing that I thought was really cool was you guys collaborated with Flo Rida on this one. Can you tell me about how that came about and what interested you guys about doing that?
Well, as we normally do, it was all masterminded. That's a total lie. Sorry. Again, it's so ridiculous how some things happen. I think if you leave yourself open to opportunity in any kind of thing you do, any kind of job or creative endeavor whatever that you're doing, leave yourself open to opportunity, and you never know what can happen. That song, Chad had pieces of that song from before, and we just didn't really use any of the pieces. And then he brought it to, again, he kind of brought it to the forefront again. And I had left this one recording session from LA, and we were coming back, I must have been a week or two after. So he had a bit of time to kind of sit with the stuff by himself. And he had a friend he was writing with that works with a lot of hip-hop artists and rap artists, I guess. I'm not sure what the correct term for these guys are.
Right.
I think it's rap or hip-hop. And so he brought it to them, and he's brought to the session because he was listening to it. He's like, hey, check it out. I was talking to a friend, he's making this song, and they played it, and like, in full I was just like, at the session, he was like, oh, that's great. I'd love to be on that thing. And he's like, really? I'll ask him, see if he's interested. And so he came back and said, yeah, he was really jazzed about it. And Chad was like, I've never thought of it. That sounds pretty cool. Let's try it out. And he came over to we recorded all these in houses, by the way. We had the odd studio, but most of them were in an actual home, a house. And we would just set up shop and make a impromptu studio. So he came and sat on the couch, I guess, and just started, within like an hour or two, he was done.
Nice.
And like writing everything, doing it, doubling it, adding a harmony, like, apparently it was quite impressive. I wasn't there for the actual recording session, but Chad was really impressed. He was a really, really sweet guy, and just it went well. And so now we've got somebody rapping on one of our songs. So, I don't know how people are going to totally take it, but it's definitely a bit of a left turn. But hey, man, it's just music. It's just creative music, and it's kind of fun. So it was definitely a different flavor for Nickelback.
Nice. Edge of a Revolution. That was obviously the first single, the lead single. It was also used by WWE for Survivor Series. It was the official theme song. You guys have done a lot of work with the WWE, songs being used for WWE, Raw's theme song, all kinds of stuff. What's your relationship with them, and how cool was it to see your song, the lead single especially, being used on such a big event?
Well, we're very flattered that the people of WWE have been interested in the music at all, which is quite nice. I don't personally watch a lot of it. I used to watch it when I was younger. I was quite into it, so I'm not necessarily like the fans that they've got for the series. But we did a I'm trying to think of the name of it. They do I think around Christmas for the Troops.
Oh yeah, Tribute to the Troops, yeah.
Tribute to the Troops, and we did a thing there, and we got a chance to actually meet some of the people at the from the WWE, and they're just like amazing, kind people. It's so nice to see the people behind the characters. It really is, and the stuff that they do. And I'm you know what? I'm proud to be kind of associated with people that give back a lot and do a lot of positive things. As much as it's entertainment, they do a lot of positive things outside of the wrestling community. So I just thought it's super cool. I think it's super cool to be associated with that, and flattered, all I can say.
Definitely. You guys are coming up on, I think, 20 years next year since Curb was released, the debut. And
we're old. We're really old.
These days, it's hard to have that sort of longevity these days and go 8 albums deep into a career. Looking back on your career, what are the couple of things that really stand out the most to you? And really, did you think you'd still be doing this 20 years ago? 20 years in the future.
Yeah, it's a bit strange. I don't. People have just started mentioning this, doing interviews in the press, and I have to be honest, I haven't really thought much about it, about how long it's been. We always say, we started our first show in '96, in January of '96, and then I just stopped doing math, and because nobody likes that kind of math, right? 6 we're into 13, anyways. But yeah, it's been a while. We've had some pretty good moments. I'm trying to think of some of the great. One of the best things for us is we've been to so many places which we never thought we'd ever go. And when we started, we were, let's try to be big in Vancouver. And we moved from Alberta, a small town in Alberta, because that just was never going to happen, essentially. So we moved. Okay, let's just set our sights in this big, giant city of Vancouver. And that started going well. Let's be big see if we can get over towards. I mean, you know, it was just little. It wasn't like 5-year goals or anything. We're just like, let's just keep adding to the fan base if we can, and then things pop for us, like how you remind me in 2001, and then all of a sudden we're traveling to Europe, and we're going to Australia and Japan, and I mean, in the States even. Like we couldn't get in the States initially, and now that they were paying attention, and it's just more than you could ever imagine. And I think I can appreciate all of it, and I do try to keep quite a bit of perspective on that. I think you kind of have to, but I also don't do a lot of reflecting.
Right.
At this point, I think when I truly retire, or I know I'm old, but when I get super old, maybe I'll actually look back on it and think, this is really cool. But you're kind of in the hurricane, even when you're out here doing touring, and we're just focusing on, I want this show to be good, and then I want the next show to be good. It truly is that. It's like we don't sit back and hope that, or look at all the things we've done and think that we've made it, so we don't have to do anything anymore. That's just not our mentality. It's always, I want to do something better. I want to get better than the last time, and I think you have to think of it that way all the time.
Well, I think the moment you sit down and think, okay, I finally made it, this is everything, I think that's the time that your career, I think, starts to dwindle, whether you want it to or not. You always have to be looking forward to what's next and what's coming, because
I think your life starts to dwindle at that point.
Yeah.
In general.
You guys are out with, right now, Pretty Reckless is opening the shows. Pop Evil is going to be on a couple of shows, a couple of days, then Lifehouse. It's cool to see the opening acts kind of changing as the tour goes, because it's a really long tour. You guys are going to be on the road for the next, 6 months, I think.
We're out till December. We've actually got stuff booked till almost Christmas, so yeah, it's going to be a stretch.
How have the shows been with the Pretty Reckless so far? And then obviously Pop Evil is one of the best, I guess, up-and-coming bands right now, newer bands than Lifehouse. Everyone here in Indy is super excited about seeing them with you guys here. Each band's really different. It's really cool. Did you guys have any say in who was going to be opening for you guys? Did you kind of handpick each one, or how did that whole process work? And is it kind of cool to see different phases of rock opening for you guys?
It is very interesting, and yeah, we do handpick these guys. We pine over it. We try to make sure that it's a combination of a few things, and it's to a degree. I mean, I don't want to go as far as saying the process is serendipitous in a sense, but it's all about, okay, who is interested, A, who, B, is like they're saying, well, we have an album out, we want to tour, we want to do some stuff with this band, and that kind of, it's got to kind of coordinate with that as well, so that they're, somebody wants to be out for a while, as long as, and we try, and that's kind of, some bands are like, Pretty Reckless can only come to a certain degree, a certain time frame, and then I think they're going back in the studio, and then Pop Evil, and then Lifehouse. So it boils down to timing of the bands as well too. But I think it's great. I like rotating it a bit too. It kind of keeps it fresh, and newer bands, and we're flattered they actually even want to come tour with us. So it definitely is it's a nice thing to have when people actually want to throw their hat in the ring. Yeah, and then when we go, we'll finish with Lifehouse in the summer, and then we go to Europe, and then we're taking I've been wanting to take these guys up for a while. We're taking a band out called Monster Truck.
Nice, awesome.
You know Monster Truck?
Oh yeah, very throwback. Amazing.
Yeah, they're totally throwback, but they're just good. Meat and potatoes, rock and roll in Canada, and I'm very, very excited to go with those guys as well too. So it's like it's going to be a fun year. It's going to be lots of varied bands, but it's going to be fun.